All right. We'll wait for a few more people to hop on. We were supposed to do this at 9:30, so we're actually 5 minutes early.
Technically.
Technically. Technically, we're five. Is it Friday the 13th today?
Yes, it is.
Cool. All right. Ooh, I should do some kind of fun Friday the 13th embroidery.
You should. That'd be fun.
I know. I've been wanting to do another thing on my embroidery machine for the math pack at 120, so maybe I should do that.
Ooh.
Maybe. Yay. Hi, guys. It is very much fall here. It is like 40 degrees outside this morning.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we had freezing temperatures last night for the first time. It's time to blow out our sprinklers before they flood the pipes. We had to turn on the heat in the basement. Like we're into it over here. Yeah.
It's hoodie weather. You love hoodie weather.
I love hoodie weather. It's my favorite.
It's my favorite.
You'll find me in hoodies from now until April. Yay. Hi, everybody.
And while we're waiting, just want to tell you, she's talking about the 120% map pack. So we're going to do a sister sew of a 120% map pack just on YouTube on October 26th at 10 a.m. We're trying to do things on all different days and different times because she has people in different time zones and countries. And so I know
it's morning on one of them and you're mad because it's not your right time, just be patient. We're trying to do all the different times of the day.
Yeah.
Yes, I am very sick, everybody. I got the COVID. I was supposed to be at Susan's house for this weekend. And I had the inkling Wednesday, was it? I thought I had one of those at-home tests, and I thought I'm going to visit Susan, and my parents are there, and Susan's got health issues, and my parents have health issues, and I thought, if I have COVID, I do not want to bring it to them. And sure enough, it tested positive. So I did not go visit Susan. I am sitting here in my house hoping I don't get everybody else sick. And yeah, so our trip got canceled and I've been completely miserable the last couple days.
And it's a good thing you didn't try to drive. Like, let's be honest. We both sat there on the phone for 30 minutes trying to decide if we should just ignore it. And we're both like, maybe it's fine.
Nobody has to know.
We don't have to tell anyone.
Nobody has to know I'm sick.
But she would have to drive 10 hours with her little kids, with just her. And that would have been bad.
And my dog. Yeah, it was probably a smart choice. And it snowed over the pass. So I would have been driving through the snow, sick, 2 kids and a dog.
And we try to get her kids here because my kids were devastated that her kids aren't coming. Because it's also, my kids have a couple days off for a little fall break. And our plans were to do all these things with Siah's kids. And so, especially my youngest was devastated. And so Bryce was flying home from a business trip on Wednesday night. And so I was texting him saying, hey, and he had a flight through Denver from where he was coming. I said, hey, do you want to just get off at Denver and go get a car and get Siah's kids and drive them home? He's like, yeah, I'll totally do it. So he landed and called Siah, but they looked at the weather and it was snowing. There's a big mountain pass that you have to go over.
And he's not a snow driver. It'd be no big deal because I drive through the snow all the time, but he is not a snow driver.
He's never lived in the snow.
Desert rat. So that scared him.
So anyways, he came home empty-handed, no kids with him. And, but I'm really glad that you didn't try to do the drive. That would have been bad.
It would have been bad. So anyways, here I am. I have to get better because I'm supposed to go to California on Wednesday. And I have to fly. My ears might hate me.
Yeah, they will. What machine do you use?
Vanessa, what machine do I use? She's asking in all caps. I better answer her.
I know.
I sew on a King Max, which is a different brand than it's equivalent to the Juki 1181N. But I love my King Max compared to the Juki. I have sewn on it before, and it's not my favorite. But you can only get my King Max at the Denver Ralph's Industrial that I know of so far. Yeah, so that's what are our shirts? They're asking what our shirts are. Our shirts are pink.
Pink. We went to the Pink concert and
Yeah,
got the concert dates on the back.
that's probably where I got the COVID.
See, and I didn't get it because I was up in the nosebleed seats with someone else, and she was down with the fancy people. So it's the fancy people.
Well, I also hung out down on the strip for a few days, so
I didn't. I just came for that and went back home. So
yeah. So
and you had to fly. So
yeah, I mean, I could have gotten it anywhere. Anyways, these are our pink shirts, and if you guys don't know, I'm obsessed with her, and the concert was amazing. And Brandy Carlisle was unbelievable.
I could have left after her portion and felt like I had my money's worth.
She was so good. Brandy Carlisle. I am a new super fan of Brandy Carlisle.
Yeah.
And I get to see her in another week in Denver. Because I'm going to Pink's concert in Denver as well. And I will buy the rest of the t-shirts at the Denver concert.
She's in a concert phase of her life. We won't get into that, but there's a reason for it.
You know what? I'm buying all the concert tickets currently because the last 20 years I couldn't, and now I can.
Okay.
So, anyways. Okay.
And I wasn't
got a good group.
I wasn't reading questions.
Robert says, at least through technology, you can be live together. That's so true.
I know. It's really cool when we figured out that we could do this. First day we tried, it was terrible.
That DJ definitely knew the demographic. That DJ, that kid cut up, Pink has that DJ at all of her concerts. That same DJ goes to all, because I've been to other ones of hers. That DJ hypes up the crowd, and he does the same type of music every time. It's amazing. Anyway, sorry. I'll quit talking about Pink. All right. We've got 136 people here. Let's do this.
Let's do it. So, Siah, we'll both keep an eye on the questions that come through here, and then I will also read the questions that people asked ahead of time. So we'll start with that. Oh, my map pack turned out so cute. Thank you for asking, Julie. I had so much fun making that. Once my thumb kind of got to the point where I could sew with it, I finished it up, and I'm in love with it. But Siah has it right now. Long story, but
I have what?
My map pack.
Oh, I do have your map pack.
Okay.
Oh, does that make you sad? Do I need to mail it to you?
No, it's okay.
No, I'll have Missy mail it.
I'm okay.
I'll mail it along with this other one I have to send.
Well, I need some hardware from you anyway, so we'll just do that together.
Oh, I'll just put the hardware in there.
Yes. So I'm super excited about that. And we're gonna make the 120% one, so that'll be fun.
Hi, Mary.
Okay. We have a question I saw a couple times. What will 3 spool threads cost postage to Denmark? Do you have any idea on that?
Oh, man, it's a lot. I want to say it's probably anywhere from $30 to $70. Like the range, I can't ever have a good tell on that until we actually put it in the system. And so if I've overcharged, when you place the order, I refund the difference. But a lot of the times I undercharge and I end up paying the difference. So it's not cheap, and I can't do anything about it. Like there's no way around shipping costs. So that's my answer. I'm sorry.
She's sorry.
I'm sorry.
What industrial machine are you getting? Is someone else getting one? Is that what they're asking?
I don't think she's talking to us.
Okay. Oh, it's $80 to Australia for 3 threads.
There you go. So it's probably pretty. So I was right. About
Nikki,
70 max, maybe.
Nikki, did you buy thread?
Yeah, I said
Wow.
to Nikki before.
Wow. That's crazy how much it costs to ship. Okay.
It's frustrating.
Okay. On the size spec pattern, I don't see instructions.
We're
Yep.
going to be instructing you through the video. It's a video tutorial and it's not hard. There's not a lot of hard steps. If you've sewn something like the math pack, um, you'll be able to catch on pretty quick. So it is a video led pattern.
And when you release it, you're releasing it with a video, an instructional video, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So
Exactly.
we'll do it together. And I released those dates last night, so everyone has enough time to get what you want to use for it. And someone had asked for the dimension, so I'll make sure I get that. Do you have it right there?
What?
Oh, never mind. Okay.
The bag? No.
Are we ready?
I have an old tester one that I did.
Oh, that's right.
Let me see if I.
Robert, I am loving my
wait.
Juki. I am loving my Juki. I honestly, to tell you the truth, I kept waking up last night trying to think of a pattern and like what I was going to cut and sew. And I was trying to make my mind be quiet because I was so excited to sew. So yes, I am loving it. It's a great machine. It's changed everything for me. Okay. I'm going to start with some of the questions that you guys submitted some great questions for this. And we'll try to keep an eye on the chat too. But if we miss a question, whatever that one person did in caps, you totally got our attention because I was like, oh, they're asking us a question. We just weren't following the chat very well. So, what domestic machine do you use for cork? I mean, technically the Juki's a domestic, right?
It is a domestic.
Yeah. So the Juki worked on. I've sewn
I
cork
don't
with
think
it.
there's any such thing as a semi-industrial. This is my opinion. I don't think there's such thing as a semi-industrial machine. There's such thing as more of a heavy-duty domestic machine. But it's either domestic or it's industrial. It's either made of metal or it's made of plastic. So you want more of a heavy-duty domestic machine. Yeah.
Yeah, but I have the Juki 2010 and that one, the TL 2010, that one works great. Okay, there's a question that came through. Oh, good. And that's telling everyone to type question or question marks before so we can kind of see it come through.
All right. So we're going off of a spreadsheet of people that asked us questions on the Siah Swag group. So we're going to try and get to those. And then we'll interject these little ones here and there too.
Yeah. So while I'm pulling that up, one of the questions was, how did our parents come up with our names? I mean, we all have really common names. We have David, Jason, Greg, Susan. And I don't know how they chose those ones, honestly. I think they were just like, that's a nice name. And then Kasaya. And it fits our personality, actually, perfect. But my mom was doing like family history, looking at our ancestors, genealogy stuff. And she had found fourth or fifth great grandmother.
I think it's a fifth grade Cherokee Native American grandmother.
Yeah, Cherokee Indian grandmother that we had, and her name was Kasaya. And so your name was going to be something else.
It was going to be Sarah.
And then at the last minute, she changed it to Kasaya.
Yeah.
So,
and my dad hated it.
Did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Dad hated it.
It was so different, right? Like, probably it was one of those names that everyone was probably like, "What the heck did you name her?"
Yeah, he was like, "What?" Yeah, exactly. And it's like my Charlotte. Her dad did not want Charlotte for her name.
Oh, really?
He did not like it. He didn't want it. And I said, "Fine, you come up with something better, and I'll think about it." And I had her, and I'm like, "You don't have anything better, do you?" He's like, "No." And I'm like, "She's a Charlotte." And she's a Charlotte. Yeah.
Yes. And you're a Kasaya. Like, it's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, I'm going to step away just for a second to blow my nose. I'm so sorry, guys.
No, you're good. I'm going to start on a couple questions, okay?
All
So if
right.
I don't see the chat for a minute, I'm on a different screen. Some great questions came through. I'll start with one that don't have to do with her. The first one was something that Robert just asked. How am I getting on with my new sewing machine? Loving it. Loving it. I'm not having to troubleshoot tons. I've reached out to a couple people through here actually, Sherry and a couple others to kind of help me answer a few questions at first. But I'm loving it so much. Let's see. This next question is, um, when are we coming to the UK? Because her sewing room is waiting, and her hubby is a fantastic cook.
Oh, when are we coming to the UK?
Well, I mean, I'll be
I'm gonna
honest.
say like maybe 2025.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. This whole yes, I use Text 45 on the top and the bobbin for mine, by the way. This whole sewing the States thing started because people from Great Britain kept saying, come over here,
Yeah.
right? I mean, and Europe. They're like, hey,
Yeah.
come here, come here. And we are laughing, saying, we should go sew a bag in different countries. And that's how that started, is we were kind of joking. And then we're like, that would actually be fun.
Yeah.
But then we decided, you know what, that's probably a bit of a stretch and that's a little expensive. So maybe we'll just go to the different states to practice. So honestly, yeah, I mean, we would actually love to come to the UK. So we're gonna practice all 50 states first.
I think, yeah, I think Canada, UK will probably be our first ones that we attempt, right?
I think so, yeah.
Country wise.
Yeah, I think so. So
Okay.
that'd be fun. Okay. Here we go. Here's a question for you, Siah.
Okay.
Do you ever get in a slump and don't feel like sewing? And if so, what do you do?
Yes, I do. It's happened a few times. Usually it's when I get overloaded with life. I get in a sewing slump because I can't be creative when I'm overly stressed with other things in my life,
That makes sense.
right?
Yeah.
Um, so I usually take up a new hobby. I learn something new. I step away from sewing and I learn how to macrame, or I learn how to crochet,
Oh
or
my gosh, you
I
do.
I do. That's how I
I
that is
never thought
how
about
I
that.
kind of reset myself, because once I kind of learn something new, it reinvigorates me to come back to sewing. Like, it kind of refreshes me and hits a restart for me. I don't know if it's like that for everybody, but I have found that that works for me, to just kind of step away and learn something new, because I'm a busybody. I don't just sit around. I have to keep my hands busy, my brain busy. Like, I'm never just sitting staring at something. If I'm watching a show, I'm also doing something with my hands. Like, Susan can attest to that. I can't just sit. So anyways, yeah, I usually pick up something new, try to walk away, and then when I come back, I have lots of awesome new ideas. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
there you go.
I never thought about that, but you really do. You pick up other things all the time.
I do. Yep.
Huh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Sherry says that's why she has so many hobbies. A lot of
I,
people,
I
yeah,
know. I do too. I have so many different hobbies that I've learned
I
because
do
of
too.
that.
I feel like half this house is becoming my hobby room. So, oops.
That's okay. That's okay. Uh,
Okay, here's another one. This is kind of an easy one. Ready? Tell us about our family, like our background. How many kids? Which ones are we? And how long have you been sewing? Probably is what they're asking.
okay. We come from a family of five. Our oldest brother passed away when he was 3.5. David, he was born with a hole in his heart, so he didn't live past the age of 3.5. So really, it's just us four. And we have so there was three boys and two girls, and we are the last two. We are the two youngest. It's Susan and then me. I'm the baby of the family. And Susan and I grew up. What was that?
I don't know. They're screaming about something.
Susan and I grew up with each other. We had because our brothers were quite a bit. Well, is there a 4-year gap between Greg and you? No, two.
Sorry, that was
No, there's only a 2-year gap between us, and then there's a 4-year gap between Greg and
Greg.
Jason. But
But I mean, Susan and I grew up doing everything together. I mean, we shared a room till we were high school age. We shared a
Uh-huh.
room till we were high school age, and
Mhm.
we just were always we fought, but never like mean fighting. Like just silly, stupid fighting.
We fought when we were little kids, like,
Yeah.
more than I don't think we ever fought as teenagers, did we?
No, no, because we needed each other as teenagers.
Well,
Because
and we
we moved a couple times when we were teenagers, and so we kind of relied on each other when we were teenagers for friends. So we just hung out and did stupid stuff together, really, when we
even though
were
we are
bored.
opposite, we are opposite.
And we are very opposite of each other, like insanely opposite.
Mhm.
Yep. And I think that's why it works.
I think so too. I was about to say that.
Yeah, I think that's why it works so well because we didn't step on each other's toes, but we respected our differences,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, all my childhood memories are with Siah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yep. There you go.
Okay, here we go. Here's another one. What is your least favorite sewing task to complete?
Um Top stitching.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Because
Because it freaks me out because it can ruin the whole bag. And B,
uh,
I don't have a cylinder arm, so it's a pain in the butt.
mm,
That's my least favorite thing to do.
yeah,
And
I get
and
that.
prepping. I hate prepping the bags.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
just prefer for you to prep my bag for me and then tell me what to do.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Kathy asked, "Where did you grow up?" We grew up in a very small copper mining town in the southeast corner of Arizona called Morenci. What's the population of Morenci growing up?
It was 2000 maybe.
2,000.
On a good day, yeah.
Super small.
Like,
Yeah.
the company owns the town. The company owns every house. You live in a house according to the job you have. The company owns everything except for the Dairy Queen. We did have a Dairy Queen, and that was very exciting.
Except for the Dairy Queen, and that was the only thing we had. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wow. Her brother worked there from 2000 to 2003.
Where? In
Um,
Morenci?
yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
that's cool. Small world. I I've been heavily they've been trying to heavily recruit me to come take over the band program there. And I'll be honest, I almost did it, but it just wasn't quite right.
Yeah.
Like, just this last year.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I'm missing questions in here, but here we go. I wasn't really watching the chat very well.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Okay. How do I get perfect round corners?
Practice.
Any tips for how to make them? You can throw that away.
Perfect round corners on what? Like, I think doing any round shape, it just takes practice on how fast you want to go and how you need to move your material. Like, it just takes practice.
Yeah.
Practice, practice, practice.
Like, I feel like I need to practice putting more gussets on the the
Yeah.
turns.
Yeah. Seriously, it's all about just doing something over and over again. Yeah.
Okay. How do you keep your sojo after making so many bags recently? Same
I
as
have to
before?
walk away.
Yeah.
I have to walk away. My trips help when I go on trips. That helps because I kind of, separate myself from it. Yeah, I have to pick up other things in between to kind of refresh myself.
Do you find that it's more challenging? This is me asking, because your business is in your home and there's so much work that you could work 24/7.
Yeah.
Do you think that's why the trips help reset you?
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
have to walk away from my actual house because it's always here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Hi,
Yeah.
Sarah.
Sure. Hi, Sarah.
Okay, Kasaya, what would you say is the best part of owning a small business, and what are the setbacks, the challenging parts?
Um, the best part of owning my own business is I control what I do. I have a say in everything. I don't have to do stuff I don't want to do. I'm my own boss. Um, I have say in how I want it to look, how I want it to run. The setbacks of that, it's stressful. It's a lot. And you have to learn to hire other people on your team to help you take over parts that you can let go of and other people can control, and it'll help the stress of the owning your own business part. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I think it's been completely um it's been super important for you because what you do is so it has to be creative and it has to feel
Yeah.
genuine. Like you don't want to make a video when you're not feeling it because it would put a bad light on that designer's bag and you never want to do that.
Yeah.
You want to be
It shows
genuine.
through. It shows through when I don't enjoy what I'm doing. It totally does. And I've seen it. And I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, and but if you have so many other things going on, then you can't have that joy. So I think it's been super great that you have been able to get Missy to do the shipping and have me do some of the communication stuff because then you can be creative because only you can do that part. So
Right. Right.
thank you, Brittany. I saw that coming through and I thought,
I have a couple questions on there. Jose
yep.
asked, have you sewn anything else than bags? Yes. I mean, I've done quilts, I've done baby clothes, I've done skirts, I've done leggings. I've kind of done it all.
She goes through phases. She goes all in on something and does it tons, and then she's like, and then she does the next thing. Like I remember the maxi skirt stage. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Uh-huh.
I've always had my own size business doing something.
Hmm.
Um, Jackie asked, "What's the trick to not getting pucker when doing zipper boxes?"
Oh yeah, you do that so well, and I do get
I'm
puckers
not sure which. The
when you
pucker.
pull it through.
Yeah, practice and also accuracy. And there are a couple of different ways you can do the zipper box if you are getting those puckers. You just sew a top and a bottom line, and you don't sew the sides. And when you cut into it, sometimes that helps eliminate the pucker. Some people like that method better.
Oh,
Um, but really, it is practice and accuracy for those corners. I don't know if there's like a specific trick really to tell you, but I would say try a couple of different methods and see which one gets you the best result.
okay, that was a good
And then
question.
I saw one more question. Jacqueline asked, "Did you get your embroidery machine for purses or other type of business?" Um, I got it, yeah, for because I really like enjoy and love how an embroidered panel looks like this. I mean, it's so cool and unique, and it's not something that you would just see on a piece of vinyl. So I did get it for bag making, but I do enjoy making things like, beanies and hoodies. And I just thought it would be fun to be able to do it all. So yeah. Okay. Next question, Susan.
Okay, next question is, what is the best way to get your name out there as a bag maker?
Social media. I mean, you just got to really go hard at it with social media. That's what I did in the very beginning. I just joined all the groups, tried, getting my name out there, my products, what I do. Um, yeah, that's how I did
Yeah,
it. So social media is amazing nowadays what it can do for your business. It's all about it. That's what it's all about now. We went to a little tattoo parlor in Vegas.
not me.
This
Not
relates
me,
to this.
Lee.
Not you, but me, Lily, and Missy. This place was famous for having cute $10 tattoos, which I got. So I got these cute little stars, right? Right here.
Right?
So I already had this part, but this was one of the $10 tattoos. So I just added it onto that. Um, but Lily was asking, "Oh my gosh, how did you guys?" Because it was kind of in the ghetto, kind of not in a
You think
safe
everything's the
place.
ghetto?
But we got out and we're like, "Oh," but we got inside and there were tons of people in there. So it was very well, tons of people all day long. And we're like, "How did you guys get your name on the chart?" What do I want to say? Oh my gosh. I've got cold fog brain. How did you get so well known? And they're like, "Honestly, it was a TikTok that went viral 4 years ago." Like this TikTok went crazy viral 4 years ago, and now they are busy 24/7. So when I say social media affects it, I mean social media nowadays is the way to go. So did that kind of like tie in, or am I just really sick?
I don't know.
No, just a random story then. There you go.
No,
Guys,
that was good. That was
I
good.
didn't sleep well last night.
Okay, there's a couple questions that are coming through while we're doing this. There's one back there. Just a second. Shoot. Well, I don't know. Go to that current one about embroidery. If you can't afford a big 10 needle one, what would you suggest starting with?
Just get a single needle. That's what I started with. I just
Mhm.
started with a cute little brother single needle machine, and I love it. And it's great, especially if it's just for personal use and just playing around with every once in a while. Just get a single needle. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, there was another question I missed, but I hopefully, if you really want to know it, you'll ask it again. Sorry about that. I was into your story about the tattoo parlor. Um,
Were you though?
actually, yeah, because I think of like all you do is mention, at this point, if you mention someone, then all of a sudden they get tons of business, right?
Yeah.
And so I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool too because
Social
you can kind of
media.
spread the
Yeah.
love, right?
Yeah. Spread the love. I love to find new mom and pop shops and people just starting out with good products and help promote them, because that was me 3.5 years ago, right? I was
Yeah.
just starting out, and when somebody would mention me in their video, Susan knows, I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, this one person who has this many subscribers mentioned me in their video," and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And she'd be like, "Oh my gosh." So,
And it was so exciting. And we would go watch that little portion. Like, oh my
yeah.
gosh, they said your name.
Yeah. Like one time, Okla Roots, Jess from Okla Roots mentioned my necessary clutch wallet tutorial when she made hers, and I was like, "Oh," and she linked it in her description. I'm like, "Oh my gosh." It was so exciting. It was so exciting. So I'm just telling you, I mean, that's the way to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you able to embroider on vinyl with a single needle?
Yes. Yeah, you can. You just got to figure out the correct inner stabilizers and your needle. You have to go up a size in your needle and slow down your speed quite a bit.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Next question. Do you make and sell bags at events?
Well,
You used
not
to.
generally, but if I'm going to vend, I used to. Okay, so let's go back to I used to. I
Hmm.
used to do lots of craft fairs. Um, but my bags were a lot more simple then. I sold just like little makeup bags and little totes, and they were all cotton, very simple compared to what I make now. And it was super fun, and I
And
did
they were really
great,
cute. Yeah.
and they were really cute, and I usually came out on top. But currently now, I only sell bags at events where I'm like vending for my threads and my hardware, and then I'll bring the bags that I have made and I vend that way, but I don't rely on those bag sales.
And someone else had asked, what do you do with the bags that you make, all the bags that you make in your tutorials?
I usually put them on my website for sale, or I give them away as raffles on my Patreon. So, yeah.
Cindy wants to make collars. Oh, that's the one who's going to make collars for the
Oh,
dog.
I need to measure my dog.
Do we just measure that?
She has instructions.
Okay. I'll look it up. Cindy, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Cindy.
Oh, you know what? It's going to go on the list, so it's going to happen.
I'll tell you right now, Sydney, my little dog weighs 10 pounds and my big dog weighs 60. And then Susan's dog, what does Tedder's weigh? 40?
I don't know. 30? He's supposed to weigh 20, so he probably weighs 30 or 35. Teddy, Teddy, how much do you weigh? Where'd you go? Oh, he's by my feet. The kids put a hoodie on him. He's wearing a hoodie right now.
Is he really?
He's so cute.
Mary asks, have I considered selling embroidery thread? I have. Whew, but wow. That would be a big new endeavor. So I don't know.
I'm not going to let her do that yet. Don't do that yet.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yes, Sydney, you made the list. Is it Sydney? Yeah, Sydney. I'm saying it right. Okay. What is your state travel plans in the future? Okay. Do you mind if I talk about?
This is for Susan.
Yeah, Siah doesn't plan this. I plan this.
Susan's in charge of this, and I'm just along for the ride.
So this next year, we're going to do some batch sewing. We're going to go to batches of states together, and I have a Google form that I'll be sending out each time we're leading up to a group of states. If you're interested in hosting a state sew, then you're going to fill out these questions, and then if I follow back up with you, then I'll have you send like pictures and videos and stuff. So the end of January, when it's still cold up north but nice in the desert, we're going to hit some southern, southeast, southwestern states. So we're going to do probably Nevada, Arizona, and New Mexico at the end of January. We might add a southern Utah in there, but I don't know if we have any fans in southern Utah. And I don't think sewing at my house will count as a sew in the States.
We do. There are some southern Utah people.
Okay. Because that would be a nice time of year to do that. Yeah. And then in May, we are heading to a retreat that Siah will be teaching at in Georgia. And so we'll be doing Alabama and Georgia. We already have our Alabama sew ready to go, but we'll put out a thing there for Georgia. It depends if we do an extra day or not, if we can catch South Carolina. I was just looking at the maps this week and trying to figure out. So we'll either do 2 or 3 states on that trip. Then right away at the end of May, right when school gets out, we're going to take a 2-week RV trip with our families, with my husband, kids, and Siah and her kids. We're going to fly back east, and we're going to do 2 weeks and just kind of combine it as a vacation for them because we're feeling bad. We can't leave 50 times to do this. So we're just going to start taking them with us. We're trying to get creative here.
So you're going to get Susan and Siah and kids.
Yeah. And me and one husband.
And one husband.
And he's super nice, so you'll love him. We won't all come into your house. No. That's hence the RV. They can go do whatever or chill in the RV, and we can come in and do the thing. I mean, we're not going to traipse everyone in there, but we do want them to have fun and take them to zoos and museums and whatever. Yeah. So we will be for sure in the Washington, D.C. area. And what I'll do is I'm going to chart it out, and I'm going to kind of have a range of states that I'll send the Google form out for if you live in this range of states. And then as we pick it, I'll make a route and figure out what we can do. I mean, I'm hoping to at least hit 5 on that trip, maybe 6 if we can double up some that are, fairly close in distance. The East is pretty incredible compared to the West because we can go state to state to state, and it's not like here where you have to spend a whole day to get to the next state. So, so that will be in June, and then in August, we're gonna hit the northeast quadrant of the United States. So we're going to be doing Oregon, Washington, Montana, Idaho, and maybe Wyoming. And we're going to do that at the end of August. We're trying to catch places where we can drive safely and not be caught in crazy storms at certain times of year. And we're hoping that all of those, except for the Georgia trip, all of those will be kind of RV or van trips where we can kind of just drive from state to state and not have to fly into each state. So if we do that, then that'll be our kind of our batch state sewing for the year, those 4 trips. So right now that's the plan. And as we get closer to it, like hurricanes and snowstorms and stuff like that. Northwest. What did I say? Did I say Northeast? Yes, I said Northeast. I'm sorry. Northwest. Northwest. How embarrassing. Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and Montana. Yeah. Haven't heard Walt Disney World or Universal Studios. Annette, of course we're going to be doing Florida, but that's going to be a massive vacation with all of our kids.
Oh, Annette, you're going to be our tour guide. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely be doing that. So anyways, and we do have in Iowa, we're going to go to Becky Hanna of Hanna Woodworking in Iowa. I just haven't figured out which month we're going to make it there. And that one we'll probably do Iowa and Illinois at the very least together. So anyways, we're going to just kind of start putting them in clumps and
we've gained a lot of friends in a lot of places. So I'm like, we may hit a couple people in the same state because we don't want to leave someone out. There are a couple people where I'm like, oh, but they're both in that state and I want to see both of them.
Yeah.
So we may do a couple in one state just because people are awesome. Like,
because
don't we have a couple in Ohio?
We do.
We do.
And we have 2 in Alabama.
Is that where Danielle is? Is Danielle in Ohio?
I think so. And we have 2 in Alabama that I want to do too.
In Alabama.
Can I come to Ohio with you?
You're gonna come to the East Coast with us.
Where's the East Coast?
Where's it? In the East?
I don't know where that is.
It's in the East. Hi, Char baby.
Hi.
Okay, Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin. Yeah, we could. In fact, we might have a Wisconsin thing that we're going to be doing, and if that's the case, we'll kind of batch it there. That's
of a
to be announced thing that we might be doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that one.
Someone asked, "What have I thought of doing my own retreats?" Who asked that?
If you do one in Denver.
Yeah, Jacqueline said, "Have you ever considered a retreat?"
If you do one in Denver or Colorado.
Yeah. My dream is to do an industrial sewing machine retreat. So it may come into play in the next year or so. Yeah. We'll see.
I think it'll be great when you finally get it.
Yeah.
Figured out. Okay, here's a question for you, Siah. How do you plan all the colors and fabric types of strap, etc., everything that go together for your bags? This person says, I find it difficult to match colors and a theme for a bag. Do you have any tips? This is Gina from Ireland.
Gina, I don't even know. I kind of I lay lots of things out. I add stuff, I take stuff out. Sometimes like an idea comes to me like that and I know exactly what I'm picturing in my head. Other times it takes me quite a bit. I don't have a set, like, this is how I do it. It just happens.
It's basically whatever
I've had lots of people ask me, how do I do that? And I'm like, I just do it. I just pull fabrics and materials and kind of mix and match until I think, yeah, that's going to be good. Yeah, that one behind me actually was quite hard to piece together. This one took me a hot second to kind of decide. And I did have to look at a lot of examples. Charlotte, can you shut my door? I did have to look at quite a few examples of this bag to kind of picture what I wanted for it. Hi, Marley May. Oh, geez. The dogs are in here now.
Oh, ow. Marley's the one that's working.
Okay. You can keep her in here. This one took me a good probably 30 minutes to kind of sit and play around with and figure out what I wanted. And even now I'm like, ooh, maybe I should have done contrasting here. But you just kind of have to pick it and go. You can't sit there and debate forever. Sometimes I catch myself thinking too much about it. And I'm like, I just got to do it. I just got to sit down and start sewing it up. And you kind of learn what you do like and what you don't like as you go along the way, I guess. I don't know, guys.
Sometimes you choose things that I wouldn't choose, and then you sew it together, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's just a lot of trial and error, and I think uh I think sometimes you just have the knack for it. Like you kind of know what goes together and you know what doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's hard. Yeah,
yeah.
color wheels helpful for sure. I have had bags that I've put together that I'm like, oh, that didn't turn out as cute as I thought it did, but
Right,
that happens.
right. Okay, I have another question for you. What are the
Okay.
pros and cons to having your own website versus using something like Etsy to sell products?
Etsy is super over. What's the word? There's way too many people on Etsy now, and
It's too saturated.
it's thank you. It's oversaturated. Etsy is oversaturated. It's super hard to get people to find your page on Etsy now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the fees are insane. You would have to price them so much higher to actually make a profit on Etsy. And if you have the resources, I had my nephew set up my website. And seriously, to keep my website, it's like $30 a month. That's it. It's $30 a month to have my own website. I don't have to pay anybody fees. I don't have to try and get advertisement somewhere. Like I just send people to my website. So if you have the somebody who can help you, it is 100% worth it to get your own website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours has been great, hasn't it? Kevin did a
Yeah.
good job with that. Shout out to Kevin,
Shout out to Kevin, nephew Kevin.
who's up in Portland. I wonder if he wants us to sew at his apartment. I'm pretty sure that's a no. He'll be like, oh heck no. He's very tidy, and he wouldn't want chaos in his house. He'd be like, get out.
No.
Okay. Another one for you. Okay. This is just kind of a fun one. What was your favorite family trip as kids? I have
Well,
an
we
answer.
really only had 2 trips that we would take. We either would go to Camp Geronimo,
A Boy
which
Scout
was
camp.
a Boy Scout camp,
Our dad would
or
work at it for 2 weeks.
our dad was part of the manager staff, whatever, at this Boy Scout camp, and they had staff cabins where the families would come, and so we would just all go to Camp Geronimo for 2 weeks, and
It was the best.
we were called staff brats because we got to do any activities we wanted the whole time. We could go horseback riding, we could do archery, we could do arts and crafts, leatherworking,
Boating.
boating, get licorice anytime we wanted.
The big ropes, the big long. They would rotate. Like the Boy Scouts would be doing these activities, but then on like Mondays, staff kids could do this activity. Tuesdays, so they would clear everyone else out, and the staff kids could do these things. It
Yeah,
was the best.
it was kind of the best. It was super fun. We had to stop going once I was looking at boys and boys were looking at me. My dad's like, and we're done.
You notice no one was looking at me, and I wasn't looking at the boys. I could care less.
It was
But
like, what?
what?
And then our other trip we would take would be to Kentucky to visit my grandparents. And we loved visiting them in Kentucky. Kentucky has our hearts for sure.
Yeah, they lived on a tobacco farm. Nice, and just tons of acreage. And we would get on the four-wheelers and ride back on the farm, and we would go catch the crawdads in the stream. You could walk to a little gas station with ice cream. We had our great grandmother lived next door, and our great aunt and uncle lived
All
right,
in a row.
all in a row. It was awesome.
It
Yeah,
was awesome. We love Kentucky.
yeah,
Camp Geronimo was in Arizona.
yeah. It's like a Mugion Rim area.
You just said Mugion.
Isn't this called Mugion?
I don't know. That sounds like a
I think that's what it's called. Mugion Rim.
It's probably right. Sounds long.
I'm like, did I say something bad? Mugion Rim. Whatever. Hi, Ingrid.
Hi, Ingrid.
Hi, Ingrid. I love Ingrid. Ingrid and I became best friends in
What it
Texas.
do, Suze? See, everybody loves Susan.
Well, Ingrid and I would trash talk in our
I
classes
know,
because
it's hilarious.
we were being very competitive, except the only difference was she could back up her trash talk and I was always the last one done. But I got in line to get a rivet for her in front of her. We had to get in line for the rivets, and that's the only time I was ahead of her. I'm like, other than that, yeah.
They had a fun competition going. It was cute.
Okay.
We
More
got
questions. Yeah, there's a few more questions. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Hello, you guys from New York. Oh, hey, Elle from New York. Ooh, that's going to be a fun. Now, that trip is going to be a fun trip. That will not be a RV trip. We're going to fly into New York and do that one.
We're gonna
do that one, right?
I've never been to New York.
We'll do that one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Next question is, do you think you guys will ever live close to each other?
I have no idea.
Here's the problem.
Yeah. Tell her the problem.
The problem is Colorado is the most beautiful place in the entire world, and I don't know why anyone would leave it. I left it, but that's a different story. So for her to leave Colorado, she would have to go somewhere even more beautiful. And the problem comes in that, the problem comes in that I have to live in the desert. I have autoimmune stuff and I have to live in the desert. Otherwise, I'm just sick all the time. And so
I'm not a fan of the desert. I
she's not a
just
desert girl.
don't like the desert. I don't like it. I grew up in the desert. Blech. I don't like it.
So maybe not.
Maybe.
That might not.
I don't know. Maybe when my kids are all grown and gone and I'm lonely, I'll come live with you. But and I'm sick of snow. I mean, I don't really enjoy all the snow. I get pretty depressed in the winter, actually.
You do,
I
actually.
get so depressed. I get huge seasonal depression come like January, right around January, February, which I think everybody does that lives in cold climates.
Oh, okay.
That lives in cold climates. It's just like once you hit that February and it's still cold and snowy and there's no fun holidays to look forward to, you're like, this is crap. But maybe I'll live with Susan in the winters when I'm an older, single, no kid lady.
Okay, I accept that.
Okay. Okay.
Kathy's in Mesquite. Kathy, I'm coming to Mesquite tonight for rehearsal.
How about that?
How about that? That's cool.
Aileen's here.
Aileen. Oh my gosh, I love Aileen. She was so fun. Aileen, I finally have confidence I'm going to make that mighty messenger that you cut out after that class when I made those other bags. I'm like, okay, I feel like I can do it. So I'll do that one soon.
You can totally do it.
Yeah, I feel like I can now.
Yeah.
I might have to call you 10 times and you'll tell me to watch a video. Next question. Oh, where are you guys? So she's in Colorado and I'm in southern Utah. That was easy one. This one's for me. Susan, do you prefer working behind the scenes and is it rewarding or challenging? Yeah, no, I actually love it. I love doing whatever it is she wants me to do. You want me behind the scenes? I'll be behind the scenes. You want me to get on a video? I'll get on a video. But I don't, yeah. Either way's great. Honestly,
like, Missy's like, don't put me on camera. I don't want to be on camera. And you're like, sure, I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. I just started this off, just honestly, I was just trying to help her out because she seemed overwhelmed. And I hadn't gone back to teaching yet. And then she said, what can I do so that you don't go back to teaching and you stay with me in this business? So that's kind of where we're at right now, trying to figure that balance out. But I do love, at first, like I said, I was just helping her out, but now I'm kind of getting into it. I really enjoy it.
I don't think it's Siah Swag without in Susan anymore. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
I think
tell us embarrassing stories you had on each other when you were young. Oh my.
I'm not going to do that.
Here's the thing. Anything I say, she can then say about me And so I think we're going to take a sister pact on that one. Sisters. Okay, the next question is about our mom. Does your mom ever want to make a bag? Is she the reason you both sewed? And then there's another question about our mom in here. You've stated that your mom has a sewing background. What is her specialty, and how has her experience influenced your sewing journey? I'll take this one if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine.
So our mom has always actually been into sewing as long as I can remember. How about you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's thread and needles all over the floor in the family room. Yeah. She's like, watch out, I dropped another needle. We're like, ah!
Yeah. She was always sewing something. I mean, I think she went through phases. She's kind of like you. Like she went through phases of different things. When Cabbage Patch dolls were such a big thing, she actually started her own little business, and she started making. Do you remember this? She made Cabbage Patch.
That was her model.
Yeah, Cabbage Patch clothes and like little diaper bags and little blankets.
Carriers.
Oh yeah, the little carriers, and we had those growing up, and I just thought that was normal.
I have a couple of those, like in a box somewhere.
I think I still have some too. And she sold them at a local store actually because Cabbage Patch was a huge thing. So she got into that. I think first she was just making them for our dolls, and then other people saw them. So she started doing that. She's made lots of quilts. She made clothes for us. And one summer she had made a requirement that before we were allowed to do anything like go out and play or whatever for the summer, we had to sit and learn. She wanted us to learn how to sew. So she's like, you have to sit and sew a piece of clothes for yourself. And the way she tells the story is that Siah took her time and loved it and was like really particular and happy. And I just came in there. I'm like, what's the easiest thing to sew? Big shorts, fine. I put them on. I'm like, is that good? And then I went out to play. I'm like, I'm done. So that's the way she tells it. I don't remember that. I do remember making the shorts really fast and feeling really cool in them. I thought they were pretty cool shorts.
I'm sure they were the coolest.
I'm sure. I mean, they were boy shorts. I was like, yes.
I bet you got dead in them.
I'm sure you would not have. In fact, I remember I wore them on one of our vacations when Grandma and Grandpa were in Florida. I wore my homemade shorts. I was like, yeah, that's so cool. But then as it progressed and as the kids left, my mom got more and more serious with quilts. And right now she's like, I mean, like artist level quilt maker. She's incredible. She just made a quilt for Siah's daughter that's just gorgeous. And this last year she finally
use it. I'm afraid for her to use it.
It's nice.
Annabelle fake tans, and her fake tan gets all over everything. And I'm like, better not get that fake tan on that quilt.
Yep, better not. But she did just recently enter some quilt competitions and won some prizes. So she has a 3-bedroom house, my mom and dad do, and an office. So my dad has an office and my mom has 2 sewing rooms. One sewing room is for her sewing machine, serger, cutting table, iron, and the other sewing room is for some fabric and the long arm.
It used to be a guest room. Now nobody can stay with that.
No one ever comes because we were the only ones who ever stayed in it, but now we moved here. Anyway, so she's very into it. And has it affected us? Probably, because we were always around it, right? Yeah. So I'm sure it has. But no, she hasn't ever wanted to make a bag. So I'm not sure if we can get her to do it. She's super camera shy and doesn't ever want to be on the camera. But I wonder if I could get mom to make a bag. That'd be actually fun. That's right.
I don't think she'd let us record it.
No, but maybe I could like edit pieces out or something. So maybe one of these days I'll get her to come sit with me during a live and you guys can ask her about quilting. But like I said, she's a little camera shy. So
she is.
Yeah, I'm sure she's made quilted bags before, but mostly she just does quilts and they're pretty incredible. Okay, did I miss some questions that came through?
Did she make your brothers have to learn to sew too? No, Julie, she didn't.
No, they got to just go out and play football, which is what I wanted to do. Okay, what size rivets do you use for purses? What lengths should they be, and where do you buy them?
I mostly use 9mm rivets, and they're the ones I saw on my website. Rarely do I have to change that. Those are pretty universal, and it works for almost every bag. You could get smaller ones for less layers, bigger ones for more, but 9 millimeter is usually the way to go.
Nice. Okay. Next question is, what is the trick to using the heavier weight thread with your sewing machine and bobbin? Anytime I wind a bobbin, it gets unruly and unwinds everywhere and makes a mess in my machine. You probably don't have that problem,
I don't.
right?
She probably has a domestic machine.
Probably. I mean, I
And
do
maybe
know that
she shouldn't be using it in the bobbin.
as soon as I take mine off, I have to pull it tight and hurry and put it in
Yeah.
the bobbin case, but then it stays in. So I wonder if there's something wrong with her bobbin case if it's getting unwound inside. I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know that one.
I'm not sure.
Okay. I think I got all of the.
Is that it?
Oh, someone on the chat said, name something about the other person that you're proud of. I'm proud of Siah for a lot of things. First of all, she's an incredible mother. If you need to know one thing about her, y'all know she can sew. She's an incredible mother. And of course, I'm super proud of her for doing this business. I think it's been like, it's just so her, so perfect. So
Thanks. I feel the same way about Susan. She's an amazing mom. Like, I don't know how we became such awesome moms, but we're both awesome moms. And Susan is a very patient person. Her patience is ridiculous.
Thank you.
She has got so much patience, and I have got zero. So
You don't have zero.
I mean, I have it to a certain point, but I don't have patience like you do. I don't. And she is amazingly talented with music. Something I wish I had. She is unbelievably talented in music.
You have that too, though. It just wasn't it wasn't the thing that you put time into, but you're talented too in music.
I mean, I have it, but not like you, because yeah, I chose to dance instead.
Dance it out, baby. Dance it out.
Dance it out.
You guys, I wish you could have seen us as kids, especially as teenagers. We would go to the piano and we'd find any song we could get our hands on. And she would sing at the top of her lungs, and I'm playing the piano, and we're just giving performances for ourselves all the time.
We thought we were pretty great.
And then our mom was like, girls, I'm trying to take a nap. We're like, sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Okay. One other person asked if I have my own YouTube channel. I don't. I mean, I have this little stupid thing I did for something, but no, I don't. And I have no interest in it. So there's that.
So if you want to see Susan, you come here.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Is that it?
Yeah, what other, did we miss any questions or are we over it? Oh, is anyone else in our family musical?
No.
No. Not really.
One likes to think he is.
We can't tell that story here.
So no. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay. Did you see my comment about shipping your boxes in poly mailers? Box in a bag. Method saves a lot on shipping. Have you ever tried that?
I haven't. But I know that does save. I can't do that with hardware and thread, though, because the thread just gets broken.
No, I think you put the box in the bag.
Oh, the box in the bag. Yeah, I think, didn't Melanie tell us about that? I mean, it probably saves on shipping, but then you're buying mailers and boxes.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I already have a hard enough time keeping up with boxes.
Yeah.
And then I have to buy all different sizes of poly mailers. I don't know. Maybe for internationals. I don't know.
They're all, tell it. No, we really can't because this is out for everyone.
Yeah.
If you ever see us in person, then we'll
I
tell
was
you the
gonna
story.
say, if we're ever on a Patreon private Zoom, ask us.
We can tell you on Patreon, but we can't tell you here. And if we meet you in person, we can tell you.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What size needles do you use?
On my industrial, I use 18 to 20. Yep.
Me too. Oh, what's the order in our family? We have 3 older brothers. One passed away when he was a kid. So 2 older brothers that are living. Jason, Greg, Jason, Greg, and then I'm next, and then Siah is the baby.
Yeah.
The faces you both make me want to know the story more. I know, but we are, every once in a while, people in our family do watch these. So, I mean, not very often, but it would be our luck. So,
yeah.
Okay. We still have to do Thanksgiving and Christmas or whenever we see everyone. So,
we gotta make peace in the family here.
That's right. Okay. Any other questions before
Wendy says, is one size better than the other? I bought 20s, and that's pretty much all I've used. Wendy, I tend to use 18 more than I do 20. If I know my materials are going to be super thick, or I'm sewing with some leather or almost all vinyl, I do a 20. But for the most part, I do 18, especially with like the thinner linings. But a 20 probably works too. It just makes a little bit bigger of holes. Yeah. Okay. They already know what it's about for reals. Rebecca says, probably. It's fine.
Maybe. Actually, I don't know.
I don't know. It's kind of a joke between Susan and I, so I don't think anybody else really knows, actually. 18 only with the Tech 70. Suzanne, I use 18 with the Tech 70, but it's recommended to use 20. But you can use 18. I use 18. The guy at Ralph said, only 20 with Tech 70. And I'm like, I use an 18. All right.
Which semi-industrial sewing machine do you recommend for making bags? I have been looking at the Janome HG9 and the 1600P. I don't have room for a real industrial. I mean, I don't know, because I only sew on mine, which is a Juki TL 2010Q, and I love it.
And like I said earlier, I don't think there's anything as a semi-industrial machine.
But
it's more heavy duty, but it's still quilting. It's not a bag making machine. It's still just a more heavy duty quilting machine. So, I mean,
and it works.
It'll work. You won't be able to do everything that I can do with my industrial, but if you don't have room for industrial, it'll work. Yeah. I would ask that question on the Facebook group. There's so many people who use more heavy duty domestic machines who will have great like input for you.
Yeah. When's the next bag swap? For those of you who aren't on Patreon, we did a bag swap over on Patreon, and you could always join it just for the bag swap.
Yeah.
You could join the bottom tier, which is $1, just so we can have it all in one place. We'll announce it. It won't be this year. It'll be,
it'll probably be after the beginning of the year, because it does take a lot. And I have fabulous people, Annette, Brittany, Leslie, Susan, who help me with these bag swaps. But it does take a lot of work to make sure everybody actually follows through with their swaps. And it's time consuming. So we can't do it like one right after the other. So,
but we will do it.
I'm guessing the next one will probably start in January.
I thought that was fun, and everyone's really gotten into it.
Everybody did amazing. Like, the amount that haven't sent at this point is unbelievably small.
Yeah.
Compared to our past swaps. So it did go really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you miss teaching? Do you teach privately? And how long did it take you to get your master's? I do miss teaching. I do teach privately, and I enjoy that. I teach privately 2 days a week. And I conduct an orchestra on Friday nights in Mesquite. So I have my hand in the music, bucket just enough to kind of like feed my soul. I do miss teaching. I love teaching.
She's an amazing teacher.
It's very consuming though.
Teaching's in our blood.
Yeah, I love it. And I have had a few offers and it just hasn't felt like the right thing. Working for Siah and teaching privately allows me to actually be more available for my kids, like before school, after school. Yes, I've traveled with Siah, but I've also been home way more than I ever have in my entire teaching career, for the day-to-day stuff. And so right now it's just kind of, my priority is my kids. If I wasn't thinking about anyone else, I probably would go back to teaching in a heartbeat. But right now, it's just not the time for it for me because I don't know how to just do it during school hours. And band is this consuming every evening, every weekend thing. So
Yeah.
my master's took, I don't know, I want to say it took 3 or 4 years because I did it
While you were teaching full time.
I was teaching full time and I was going down to campus. Everything was on campus. None of it was online. It was all on campus in the evenings. So it took a few years to do it, and I loved it. I love learning. I loved it. And once again, if I was just thinking about me, I would go back and get my doctorate too. But it's just not the right thing to do. It would pull me away from everyone too much. And I have 2 kids. I have 2 not one teenager and one 12-year-old. Both girls.
Cute girls. Cute girls. All right. Are we there? Are we there? Did we answer questions?
I think we got you.
We got it?
Yeah.
Siah needs to be in a quilt with a hot toddy. I know. Listen, I'm actually doing better today than I have in the past 2 days. It's just all up here now.
Go put your pajamas back on.
I know. I'm like, I need my comfy pants on. I really wanted to sew up a Rickroll backpack today.
So
cut out the pattern pieces, and I really wanted to cut one out and just play around with one. And I wanted to do something embroidery wise, but I don't know if I'll get there.
just go lay down.
Eat some soup and take a nap. I know. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, Siah, go away. I will, guys. I will.
Your baby boy's coming to my house today.
I know. My baby boy. My Davy Munch.
He's coming from college and he's bringing his girlfriend, and I get to meet his girlfriend before his mom does.
That's just not fair.
And she's gonna be here, and since you're not here, she's gonna get this room, and I'm putting David downstairs on the couch.
Good. Keep them separate. I know. I was supposed to meet him this weekend. I was supposed to meet his girlfriend this weekend. And then his dad is driving up to visit him at the end of the week. And he was supposed to meet her then, but she's going to be gone. So neither of us get to meet the girlfriend.
But he texted me and said, Aunt Susu, can I still come even if my mom doesn't come? I'm like, absolutely. So I'll take good care of your boy.
Cute. I love my David.
He still calls me Aunt Susu.
I miss my older kids.
I'll give him hugs for you.
Okay. Please do. I was so sad I don't get to see him.
I know. I'm sorry. We can FaceTime or something.
Yeah. Just give him lots of squeezes. He's very squeezable.
He is.
Uh-huh. Yeah. All right, guys. That is it for us. Charlotte's walking in here again like, are you done yet? My kids are home.
Charlotte, come say.
I didn't send them to school because we were going to be in St. George. And so they were like, do we still have to go to school? And I'm like, nah, you can stay home.
Sure, baby. I need to see your face.
I just went outside on the train.
Hi.
Red. Hi.
She looks great. She's got oversized. She is all about staying comfy.
So cold
it's
outside.
Cold. It's like only 40, maybe.
We were
50.
jumping out there and we went into like little balls and put our face in our sweatshirt because we were so cold.
I'm not going outside today.
No, okay. Go get your comfy clothes on. Go to bed, and Charlotte, take care of your mom. Okay.
I don't know how to do that.
Jane asked, how old are both your children? So I have 6 children. And I'll just say that real quick. My oldest is 25. And then so Cameron is 25. Sebastian is 22. David is 19. Annabelle 17.
Marcus
Marcus
is 12.
And Charlotte
Is 10.
And Susan?
I have Abigail is 17 and Gabriella is 12.
There you go. We got a good range.
Yep.
I'm almost going to be 11 in like 2 months.
Yep. Pretty
Yes,
amazing.
We're going to have a ton of birthdays coming up here in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
In a hot second. Okay. All right. Thank you all for watching and hanging out with Susan and I. Hopefully that was fun. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon. We were going to see you this weekend, but now we're not. So
winter break?
I may do it if I get my act together. I might do a takeover and do a video while you're sick.
That'd be awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.